When my husband and I got married, we got an extensive prenup, and we agreed that we would each be responsible for providing for our children. He came from a marriage where his ex-wife milked him for cash, and I also liked the idea of separate finances. We each pay our own bills. Groceries and the mortgage are split 40-60, him 60%, me 40%, based on the fact that he has 2 children and I have 1. I understand that to some people, it might seem a bit roommate-ish, but I've loved it, and I think it works out great. And I don't care about the money he wastes golfing, because it's his money, not mine, and I can get expensive sushi all the time. Growing up, my parents always yelled at each other about finances, nitpicking each other's spending. When my husband and I got married, I was in grad school, and he worked in finance. He lost his well-paying job and now makes 50% less, whereas my career has flourished recently. My teen son has a birthday soon, and he's been asking for a Tesla Model 3. I plan on getting it for him because he deserves it. My husband recently came to me upset because my son talked about how excited he is to get a car. That upset his step-siblings, who haven't and won't be getting cars. My husband said he wants to change how our household bills are split. He wants me to pay 80% and him 20%. He reasons that with his pay cut and his ex-wife still taking a large chunk in child support, he isn't able to golf or live the same lifestyle as before. He also wants me to buy each of my stepchildren a car this Christmas. I basically told him he was out of his mind, and he complained that his ex-wife used him for cash and made him pay all the bills, but that's what he's trying to do to me. He didn't really know how to respond to that, but isn't talking to me now. I find it kind of funny that when I made significantly less money, he had no issue with our finance split, but now that he's the one making less, it's an issue. Am I the idiot for not wanting to buy my stepkids cars and fund the family? He wants me to top off their college funds too. Edit. I am a positive role model in my stepchildren's lives. We're pretty close. I go to their sporting events, plan their birthday parties, etc. But they have 2 living parents who are more than capable of fully supporting them if they try hard enough. So I just don't feel like it's my place. The kids all know my husband's responsible for my stepkids' car in college, and I'm responsible for my son's. They're just disappointed with their dad right now because their friends all have dads who bought them nice cars, which has made my husband kind of mad. I don't think having cars and college funds are a necessity, though, more of a nice thing to have if your parents can afford it. So I feel like my husband should either step up to the plate and get a better job, or get off my back. Not the idiot. While I doubt there's a teenager on the planet who deserves a Tesla as their first car, you're monumentally, idiotically ill-advised for making that choice. His kids are his responsibility. He doesn't get to change the rules now that you're earning more than he is. His attitude about this makes me think that this is probably a doomed relationship at this point. You're not going to finance his kids, and he's not going to be okay with your child having more. But my teen son deserves a Tesla. LOL, okay, but what has he done in his years of life to deserve it? How ridiculously spoiled. However, hubby's a total hypocrite, as he didn't care when LP was a broke student and her kid went to public school while his kids went to a fancy private school. And now he wants her to help out with his kids now that she's earning more? Oh, the audacity. Everyone's the idiot here. The husband for wanting cars bought for his children, the college funds topped off, and the agreement changed. Just wow. You, on the other hand, buying a brand new Tesla for your son? Are you out of your mind? I don't know what's making you think he deserves it. He surely doesn't. I looked the price up, and $35,000 isn't a price someone should pay for a first car. And it would be a gift? And don't tell me I want him to have the life I never had. He didn't. He didn't grow up in foster care or was adopted. And I don't want to hear, he has 2 children, I have 1, yada yada. You're a family. Things change in a relationship. You adapt and behave like adults, or you don't. Why did you even get married? The two of you didn't build a family. You just did what was convenient for you. You're glorified roommates. Do you even care about his kids or how your actions will make them feel? He's absolutely an idiot for being concerned about his lack of fun money. But the 3 kids didn't agree to your financial split when you decided to make them a family. Think about all of the kids and not just your own. Also, a brand new Tesla for a teen driver is beyond stupid. Odds are it's wrecked within the year. My wife and I are both in our mid-30s. My brother's in his late 40s. He and I work in the same field and regularly attend conferences together. In addition, I value his career advice as he's an executive and I'm trying to move into management. We also share some of the same hobbies, so we spend a lot of time together and are very close. The problem is my wife is not crazy about him, and it's gotten worse with his new girlfriend. My brother was never a relationship guy and mainly concentrated on his career until he met and is now in a serious relationship with his girlfriend. My wife's problem with their relationship is that she's in her late 20s. She calls the 20-year age gap gross and my brother a pervert. On the other hand, I don't see a problem with it since she's an adult, has a career, owns her own home, and is fully aware of their age difference, so she's making a conscious choice to be with him. We've had heated discussions, but recently got into a massive argument. Thanksgiving's coming up, and we're hosting it for my family this year. My wife put her foot down and said everyone except for my brother and his girlfriend were invited. I called her crazy and said that no one would come if he was excluded. She's standing her ground and said that if he's in our house, she'll spend Thanksgiving with her family. We're married, and I know I should take my wife's side on most things, but I think she's being silly. However, he's my brother, and he's been a good one. On the other hand, I don't want to spend a major holiday without my wife. I don't know what to do. If your brother's relationship continues to grow and they're still together in a decade, maybe married, will your wife still exclude them from family events? What happens when she's 30, then 40, but still younger than him? LOL. You are the idiot, OP. This seems like a potential long-term family drama over nothing. Agreed. I would have a huge problem with a 19 and 39-year-old instead of a 29 and 49-year-old. The woman owns her own house. Sounds like your wife is, well, if I don't get my way, I'm going to take my ball and go home. Like, really? She doesn't have to like it, but she should be acting like an adult about it, for God's sake. She must get off her high horse and stop acting like a child. Dude, this is about his wife's insecurities. She's worried that as OP looks to his brother as a mentor in business, he may also seek to emulate his dating habits once he finds the same level of success. The funny thing is that acting all crazy like this just gives him more reasons to trade in for a newer model. Ooh, good catch. I agree 100%. I don't think it's something OP could bring up or discuss directly with his wife, though. She may not even consciously realize it and would be angry and embarrassed if he called her out on it. I think I'd stand my ground and point out that if the wife's the only person bothered by it, it's really a her issue and not a general or society issue. She's entitled to feel however she feels, but if she's the only one and she's going to take it to the extreme of throwing an adult tantrum and not spending the holiday with everyone else, that's her choice, and she has to own that. I 100% agree. Let your wife announce to the family that your brother's being disinvited and why. Let her reap her consequences. This will absolutely blow up your family, and I don't see a way to avoid it, as your wife is determined. Let it be what it is, all about her. To make a long story short, my son married a deaf woman, and they had a child. It was always a possibility that their child would be deaf. Our grandson was born a few months ago, and he was partially deaf. One ear is better than the other. He can kind of hear but can't make out words, according to the doctor. I've been heavily involved in helping out and have been going to doctor's appointments. He has narrow ear canal stenosis, and it can be fixed. Since he's a baby, he'll get a hearing aid, and when older, he'll have surgery to widen the ear canal. We had dinner with them the other day, and I asked about the hearing aid. My son informed me that they won't be doing it or the surgery. I asked if he was joking, and he told me no, that he would be part of a good community, and just like his mom. I told them they were both incredibly selfish to deny their son a normal life, and that he wouldn't be able to listen to music or live an average life, and they would cripple him for no reason but pride. He called me a jerk and left. His wife sent a text after it was explained, and she's angry at me as well. Am I the idiot for telling my son it's selfish to keep their kid deaf? Edit. The doctor said the surgery wouldn't be difficult at all. Honestly, you are the idiot. I get that your concern for your grandson comes from a place of love, but you should have also heard the reason why they've come to such a decision. As parents, they for sure want what's best for their child, and since the mother's also deaf, I think they really did weigh out their options before they decided. Not the idiot. It is selfish to deny your child one of their senses because you can't have it, when a hearing aid is a painless solution. And I think it was important for someone to say that and advocate for the child. To the point, it may come a time when it's worth considering legal action to advocate for the child if they indicate they would have wanted to have a surgery or get a hearing aid. You did lack tact, which was not the best way to handle it, but I get the frustration. Perhaps a sit down and heart-to-heart and hearing your son out on why may help. You are the idiot. You're the selfish one. It's not your kid. You don't get to bash their choices for their son. Deafness is definitely not a crippling thing and doesn't damage pride. You're just being ableist and assuming his life will be non-normal due to having hearing problems. Are you all joking, guys? That's wrong on so many levels. Who's so dumb to keep their child disabled? Keeping your kid disabled because one of the parents is disabled is insane. This kid could still absolutely be a part of the deaf community because he'll grow up with a deaf mother. To pretend that deafness is the norm in society is turning a blind eye to reality. In January next year, my 25 female, sister 29, is having rib removal surgery. She's going to America because no doctor in our country will perform that type of surgery for non-cosmetic reasons. She'll stay there at first to recover a little bit before she returns. However, she'll need to take more time to recover when she gets back. She's asked if she can move in with me so I can be her caregiver. It would be up to 4 months, although she said it could be longer, and she doesn't know the exact timeline. She says our parents can't do it because of their age and the fact that they moved into a building for people who are over 50 this year. She thinks that I'll be the perfect caregiver for her because I'm a critical care nurse. I said no. For one, my place only has 1 bedroom. Also, I spend all my time at work taking care of people. I don't want to do it in my off hours. The hospital I work at is busy, and my shifts are long. I don't want to do work at home too. And my sister's angry because she says if I don't do it, she'll have to pay for nurses and caregivers, and they'll be strangers. Does my refusing to do any caregiving for her and saying it's not my problem make me the wrong one? Not the idiot. If she can fly to America and pay for medical care there, she can afford a nurse to look after her. Also, with 1 bedroom, does her sister plan to recover on the living room sofa? Or does she expect you to give up your bedroom for months to camp in the living room, all while working full time? Out of interest, is it for cosmetic reasons only? Has nothing to do with a medical condition? No. Sis is doing a barbecue and is short of ingredients. Another critical care nurse here, and my question is, why would someone need a caregiver after rib surgery? She'll be able to walk, get to the bathroom and kitchen, cook and dress, order groceries, or go out herself. Why the heck would she need a caregiver? Is this a big thoracotomy with multiple chest tubes or something? I didn't need a caregiver after I smashed my leg and spent 2 months no weight bearing at age 60. I'd hazard to say that if she's planning on 4 months for recovery, that's a red flag too. In most surgeries, you can return to normal activities, possibly with restrictions, within 2 weeks. I think she booked multiple surgeries, and the only thing missing from OP's post is the word influencer. Wow, rib surgery removal? Now, that's the height of unnecessary cosmetic surgery. I can see tummy tucks or breast augmentation, but a rib being removed so you can appear to have a smaller waist or get to a smaller waist? That's over the edge psychotic. Yeah, I'd say no to it, even if I wasn't a nurse. You know she's going to be demanding most likely and want you waiting on her hand and foot. Oh, it hurts to move. Oh, you didn't have a rib taken out. I'd reply, well, you're not Adam. Sisters should rather spend all this money on a good therapist. I have 2 daughters, Zoe, 18, and Alexis, nearly adult. They're both in year 12 and almost done with their final exams. Zoe's my stepdaughter if it makes a difference. When it comes to school, the girls are the opposite. Alexis is like young and dumb me and chooses to coast on her natural ability. She puts in the minimum, yet has amazing grades. Zoe, on the other hand, struggles. She tries extremely hard and is tutored, but always struggles to get C's in more academic subjects. To be clear, I'm not saying this to diminish Alexis. I was exactly the same as her back then, and she's gotten amazing results. However, I've literally never seen her study aside from the literal day of an SAC exam. I'm proud of her for many things, but her attitude toward education just isn't one. Both girls are great, even if they both have their flaws, so I plan to reward both girls for finishing school and their results and efforts. The issue was yesterday. Alexis had her math methods exam, and Zoe had her business exam. Alexis refused to give more than one-word answers as usual, so I left it by saying I'm proud of her and sure she did great. Zoe, on the other hand, was happy with how it went, telling me she managed to finish and felt confident about it. Considering last week, she was crying because she couldn't finish English. It's designed so most students don't or barely. It was an achievement. I was proud of her and let her know, making sure to be supportive. However, Alexis later got upset and claimed it wasn't fair that I baby and favored her. She thinks I'm proud of Zoe despite her being worse, so she must be the favorite. Even though I told Alexis I was proud of her earlier, I don't agree with her attitude and have tried to motivate her to study, but I'm still proud of the results she's gotten so far. She's valedictorian, and I'll eat my hat if she doesn't get into uni, but I'm not gonna not be proud of Zoe because she's getting worse results. Alexis insists that I should be prouder of her and that it's unfair for Zoe to get the same reward, but that's nonsense. I tried to explain it to her, but she just got increasingly upset. So I told her we'd talk about it more today and tried to assure her that I love her. Unfortunately, she decided to go to my ex's instead today. So we haven't talked beyond my ex accusing me of being a piece of crap father and saying I need to prioritize your actual daughter. Not the idiot, but your story does say Alexis. I left it at saying I'm proud of her. And Zoe, I was really proud of her and let her know. Could Alexis be sensing that you're more proud of Zoe's efforts and subtly communicating that? Even if she is naturally gifted and the need for perfect grades is instilled by your ex, Alexis perhaps can't understand the difference in praise when she's valedictorian. My parents treated me and my brother like this, and I really resent them to this day for it. And I'm 29 now. I was never good enough because I was smart. A great grade would get a well done, A normal grade wouldn't be noticed, and I would be scolded for C's and below. My brother was praised for every little accomplishment and validated. We would go out for ice cream if he got a B in maths. I got nothing from that. It's not fair treatment. OP, you are the idiot. Being valedictorian is an outstanding achievement, even if it seems like she doesn't care. She's listening in school and doing her work, which does require effort. Your daughter's crying out for some special attention from you, and I think it sucks that all she got was a pat on the back.